Hello, welcome back everyone. I brought this juniper in. I got this a few years ago. It's online. I can't really remember where it came from, to be honest. I think it was Italy, I'm not sure. But I got it as pre-bonsai, so there was no, like, it had a bit of a twist in it, but other than that you couldn't really see what potential it had. When I got it, then it was very weak. I repotted it and it kind of wasn't great for a year or so. I did air layer the top off, which is this, to make a nice little tree. That's still to be styled yet, but is it because the top of it, you see that one there, was very straight from here up, and it came up into that tree up here. It was kind of sticking off at the side. It was kind of weird looking thing. So I've just left it since then, and it's really got good vigour. As you can see, it's grown really well now, but it's just very kind of ugly. There's a lot of branches that you couldn't use, and this straight bit you definitely want to get rid of. You see there, it's quite ugly. So my plan, I was thinking of doing it, I put a bit of a shari there of doing a tree like this with it, but it's just too much here, I think, too straight. There's no taper or anything. So my plan today is to see, can I maybe get rid of this and make a shorter, smaller tree out of it, and just let it fill out and try and get some more branching going. So that's the plan. So we'll get cracking with that. I don't know if I'm going to leave this as deadwood up here. It might just still look a bit stupid, but I'll cut it back first and then we'll have a look. I will keep the branches that I cut off and try and grow them as cuttings. I tend to have quite a good success with a lot of these as cuttings. See, I'm not too sure. I have a little bucket of water down there, so I'll just drop them all in there until I'm ready to repot them. Not too sure how good of a tree I'm going to be able to make out of it, but whatever it is, it's got to be better than this. So I'll make it and hopefully grow it on from that. So I don't think keeping this, we'll see. Maybe what I might do is peel it back, have a look at it. I think that branch is too high probably to keep. I'll peel it back, I'll style up the tree a bit and then make the decision. We can always peel it off, cut it off afterwards, but we'll just for now turn it into a bit of a gin, and then we'll see a bit of deadwood. We'll see then afterwards if it's gonna, if we want to keep it or not. So just strip the bark off it up here. Sometimes I don't like to just make deadwood and gins and things just for the sake of making them, just because it's there. You know, if it doesn't look good, about having it if it takes from the tree itself, but it's always worth getting it ready and making the decision afterwards then. At least if you peel it off, it doesn't look as big and as thick and chunky, and you can see whether you decide then whether you like it or not. I'm not too sure about this back branch here, if I'm going to keep that or not. It's on this bit of stump that's sticking up, so I might take that off as well. But for now, I'll leave it till I've made my styling decisions. I would want to keep these ones if I can, because they're literally the only thing growing on that side of the tree. You can see otherwise all the growth's on one side, which might be okay too. Let's see. That might be a possibility as well, just to have all the growth on one side. Actually, a little dead bit here, but I'm going to probably keep this branch, so I'm going to take this off because it might interfere with the direction I want to bend that branch. Okay, so that's that little gin on the top. Like I said, we'll make a decision when we've styled the tree whether we want to keep it or not. But we'll leave it on until we have made our decision. Now, next thing I'm going to do is just clean up the crotches and stuff. Get ready any dead stumps, any growth out the crotches. This branch here, don't think we're going to need this, but for now we'll just clean out in here first, and then we'll make a decision on that. It's kind of growing in towards the tree, but we'll see. And again, on these branches, we'll just glasses are needed, I think. Anything growing down or the crotches with the branches we'll take out. Get that a bit of a tidying up. This one definitely put on a lot of growth. It was very weak for quite a while when I got it, as it didn't like the transition of the transporting or what, but now there's a branch under here growing and there's this one, so I'm going to wait because I might want to cut this off and keep this one, so I'm going to leave that for now till we make a decision on that. Don't know how high or long I want the branch, so doing this work might help strengthen it up a bit as well, get rid of all the weaker stuff and get the branches put in the right places that we want them to grow, so all the energy isn't going into branches we don't need. Okay, so what I'll do is put a bit of wire in it, get it all wired up, and then we'll come back and have a look and see if we can do something with it. Okay, so I have the wire on most of it, I think. I have made the decision that I'm not going to do a tree like this. I'm going to remove these and just do the tree on one side. These two branches especially are just very long, leggy, kind of weak branches, just tufts at the end, and for one side of the tree just not enough to build. So I made a decision to chop them off. Just got them there. And this one, I don't think I'm going to use this. I'm going to make a shari all the way down the trunk here to this, from this stump up to this. So just add a bit of character to the tree. So I'm going to take that off as well. So I get my knife. I buy trees, well, I don't buy many trees now, but when I used to buy the trees online especially, you couldn't really see what you were buying, but I knew that they were kind of pre-bonsai trees, which I'd rather buy than buy ones that were already made into bonsai, because I rather style them myself, so it's my kind of styling, and that's one reason. And the other reason is obviously it's a hell of a lot cheaper to buy them not styled. Once you start looking at them already styled, then you start tripling the price of them. So what I'm going to do is just peel this back so it kind of naturally takes the course of the bark. So it kind of looks natural rather than straight lines like that. Just take off a tiny bit more just to give me, so you can see a bit more white on the trunk. Something like that now. You can always make it bigger after, once it's healed up and the tree's growing good, then you can make it a bit bigger again. And this side. I'm going to cut that there. Don't want to take too much more off for now. And I'll cut that there just to finish that off. Okay, now what we will do is just peel these back a bit. Just stop them looking a bit too artificial looking. peel it back like that. Small bits I'm not too worried about because they will kind of just die off and there. Just going to rough up the ends, and what I'll do is get out my blowtorch and see if I have a piece of metal here and put that in there just to protect the tree. I'm not completely worried about making this look perfect for now. It's only going to be going back on my bench for a while. And later on, when it's dried out, we can give it another going over with the blowtorch, and we will put some lime sulphur on it. We'll just leave it dry out first for a little while. And just peel that back a little bit there. Okay. That'll do for the dead wood. We'll work on that when it's dried, like I said. Now we just need to try and somehow make a bit of a tree out of what we have left here. Branches are not great, but we'll see what we can do. Well, I think we could even make this the front of the tree now, maybe. You do see a lot more of the gin and shari on this side. This might be a possible better front than this. So yeah, we'll concentrate on this, we'll make this the front. Gonna have to use a bit of illusion on this one because the branches are so kind of leggy and not great. So we're going to have to kind of bend them to manipulate them into position. Which means kind of bending them backwards and then bringing them back forward to kind of shorten them a bit. Around to give us a kind of a bit of a back branch back here. At a late stage we might end up taking some of the branches off, but for now I'll keep as much as I can just to try and build what I can out of them. Okay, so I think we're got them kind of bent into some way. So again, now we will just, now they're in their positions. A lot of people clean off the bottoms of the branches before they bend them, but I like to kind of bend them first if I can, and that way then, because sometimes you have to twist the branch so much that the bottom becomes the top. So it's right enough and the right thing to do it afterwards. This isn't going in a show end, so it doesn't have to look spectacular right now. We're just trying to get it to grow in its, fill out in the right places. Definitely, rather than buying somebody else's work, I much prefer buy a tree like this, and you look at it for a while and it's like, oh, you don't know what you're going to do with it. But then when you do eventually get round to styling it some way, it's nice to see that you've turned what was a ugly tree with no potential into possibly being something half decent one day. And you've done it yourself with your own style, done it the way you wanted it, or the way you had to do it. And it's cost you a third of the price, at least, of what you would have had to pay to get one already styled by somebody else. There's something kind of rewarding about having a tree that looks pretty ugly and eventually turn it into something that could, you know, looks half decent. Just going to put a little bit of wire on that top. Just needs to fill out a bit more, but it should do now. I don't know why it's turned out. I'll just keep changing. I think it's slightly on the slope. Wedge piece of wood or something in there, stop it turning. I know it's all on one side, this tree, but with the gin and that on the other side, it kind of gives it a bit of a story. It's been through the wars a bit. You can see the top is a little bit weak yet, but now it's moved to the top. Well, the energy should go up to there and should fill out hopefully in no time. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done with that. We could maybe change the angle one day of it, do a bit of more work to it, but at least this will get it started on its bonsai life. Get it in, get it growing in the right direction, the direction we want it to grow in. And we're not pumping energy like into the top of it, which we ended up cutting off anyway. Now we can pump the energy into this. And like I said, we'll come back in a couple of weeks or so whenever this is dried out, and we'll give this a coat of lime sulphur, and we'll just do a bit more work on it, get rid of all these stubs and stuff, but I prefer just leave it dry out first and then do that kind of work on it. That's a bit, if I can find my knife, put that bit off there. Okay, so we put that back on the bench. It's got a lot of small weeds and stuff in it, but we'll leave it off. We'll keep trying to keep out the weeds as best we can. We'll put it back on the bench and see how it grows. Need to kind of get the top filling out a bit more up here, which should happen now we've done it. Okay, so let me know what you think, guys, and as usual, don't forget to subscribe. Oh, I forgot to prune this branch. Don't forget to subscribe and share my videos. Help the channel. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.